Who the are we? We be the dudes who just come over to water the lawn. We don't say hi, we just come over to walk your dog. We nice like that, we super nice like that. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you like it loud, we can make it loud.
Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Broncos coming in at 10-5, going up against the Raiders, who come in at 10-5. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Murray, the lone setback. They're going to give it to him running right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Offensive starters now. Charles, what about Latavius Murray?
You know how you and I talk about players under the radar sometimes? Latavius Murray definitely qualifies as one of those players. And then you look up, and he's pressing 1,000 yards every year.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards. Again, it's Murray. Room here to run. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Carr, and he's got his man in stride, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
Carr to throw on second down. Over the middle, it's Holmes. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Throwing now is Carr. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Now Carr throwing on second down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. throw. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Now Sanders. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Here's the offense, and you got to talk about the guy that they nicknamed Bebe, Charles Demaryius Thomas.
You worry about him catching the ball, but you worry more about what he does after the catch. Big, strong, physical. He makes plays downfield.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Norwood that time, and it's 3rd down. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
When I watch Khalil Mack play, I just see fury, passion, and incredible athleticism. This guy can flat out play.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Brandon Fields to kick this one away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we're going to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
2nd down following the run. Here's Carr. It's caught. Reception by Holmes. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Open man is Holmes. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the 1st down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
On 1st down, Murray. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Murray the lone setback. They go play action here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Carr to throw on second down. Caught left side to Crabtree. Fighting through. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side to the tight end Wolford. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Raiders a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. Completes the tight end Rivera. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Second down now after the pass completion. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They come up in an offset eye. Now Carr on the bootleg. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Washington, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On second down, here's Lynch. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he's brought down after a good gain. A nice gain of 21 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Steps away to his left. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it a second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
And now Lynch. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. From the red zone now, here's Lynch on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Being chased out left. This will be caught just inside the 10. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
To throw is Lynch. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play.
And they're going to get it. They bring it down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. From the 15 now after the sack, it's 3rd and goal. Now it's It's the backup Simeon. Left side here to Sanders. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Shift together here from the D-line. Murray the lone setback. They go play action here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And some space here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
The lone receiver right is Cooper. Now a 2nd down run for Murray. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Here's Walford over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here we go. Red 18. Red 18. Alert.
Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
On play action, it's Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
when you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On first down, it's Simeon. On the crossing route, he hits Demarius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Here's Simeon. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, as the first half is winding down, and the Broncos draw a bit closer. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Carr going to give it to Murray on the draw play. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, here's Simeon. He completes it to Hartline. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there that gives him a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Simeon on first down. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. You can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll come out in the pistol. On first down, Simeon surveying the field. He goes underneath for Anderson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead. And
now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Murray, the lone setback. Time running out here on the play clock. To throw, it's Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. Now a play fake. Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And it brings up 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is away and a very good kick. Angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Simeon. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. Simeon. It's caught. He finds Norwood. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
To throw is Simeon. And the Raiders have got him. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Simeon into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle...
Well, this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Andre Holmes, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. It's up and good to make it 21-17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Simeon on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jordan Norwood, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They go with Murray again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front has eaten up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that's complete to Walford. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
All right, here we go. 5 and 8.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Here's Walford over the middle. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Clive Walford, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have moved down in front here in the 4th quarter. And his kick is right through. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss in a open field.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. To throw on second is Simeon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Simeon now to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there on third down. 46 yards. On 1st and 10, Simeon escaping the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They'll run for it with Anderson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
To throw is Simeon. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now Simeon on 3rd and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash. And this one just a chippy. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
All the elements of what you want out of a play came together on that one. A really nice run, took care of the football, and even more importantly, taking the clock under 4 minutes now. At this stage of the game, how do you bleed out the clock, take care of the ball, and make sure the other team doesn't have a chance to come back on you? You're looking at your sheet, how many timeouts are left, how many runs do we need to close it out? That's what the coach is looking at right now. Situational football, trying to gain a victory.
Here's Carr to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They come up in an offset eye. Throwing now is Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. DeMarcus Ware in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped in the contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, 84 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. And that score gives us our 6th lead change of the game.
Are we back on the playground on the seesaw?
Oh, a seesaw battle,
right?
yeah.
Up and down, up and down. What a game we've watched here.
It's been fun. They'll look to throw. And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Carr, Crabtree with it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They bring Crabtree in motion right. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And an alley to run. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Time starting to run out here in the fourth. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. Throwing on first down is Carr. Caught left side to Crabtree. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Carr now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Another pistol look here. He'll look to throw. Out to his left. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Murray, the lone setback. Back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. First carry here for Taiwan Jones. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. And it's 3rd down and goal from the 4. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think what we just saw on that drive, partner, is great practice, preparation, and poise. Not only did they score with little time left for them to retaliate, they chewed up enough time along the way while still getting the yardage they needed. That was an impressive drive.
Very methodical. Now, barring something crazy on the kickoff, they've got this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give you...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. One last throw here for Simeon. Dancing to his left. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Raiders, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.